Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 of this best of 3 between vVvRuFF and Soloturtle for the last player standing StarCraft 2 Open number 2. Something like that anyways, I think that's the tournament name. Check out lastplayerstanding.com if you guys want to see all about the tournaments and any future tournaments they might hold. Obviously this is a fairly neat idea and I like what they're doing here. We do have vVvRuFF, obviously our blue Terran spawned in the left spawning position on GSL Dual Site, and Soloturtle our pink Protoss over in the right spawning position. Again, map is GSL Dual Site. I'm sure you guys, again, not a ladder map, but should be fairly familiar with it through tournaments and the like. I do like this nice little separation they have in the graphics, cut right through the middle between burning lava stuff and nice green grass stuff. It actually seems to work out quite nicely aesthetically anyways. So last game we did see those red flame hellions do significant damage to Soloturtle's economy, and basically it was unable to recover. vVvRuFF just sat back and macroed, and while Soloturtle had to make probes, and then he was overrun by a superior army on the Terran's part. And see if we see anything akin to that this time. Obviously it worked for Ruff the first time, we'll see if he tries it again. Although I'm sure Soloturtle will be a little bit more prepared this time for any Hellion harass. He tried to do some sort of a one-gate robo fast expand that I actually haven't seen before. Maybe it's a build that doesn't react well to early aggression, but Ruff basically decided he was going to bring on early aggression. You see the barracks and the squad evo here up front, probably attempting to wall off, but we don't see the fast gas that we saw last time. Probably indicative of a lack of a early factory, as that gas was taken last game before the barracks was even started. You see gas being taken by Soloturtle, so he's still starting to open standard, same as he did last game, so it's really hard to tell as to which direction he might be going with this build. Probe does manage to sneak into the base and see that there is nothing too incredibly special going on here. No gas has been started yet, and Soloturtle's not fully aware of that. We do see this Marine starting to be trained though, and as soon as that Marine is out, it will be very useful in negating this probe scout. Although it looks like the probe's going to leave of its own accord before that Marine even decides to pop. I don't believe we've seen Ruff send out a scout yet. If we have, I must have missed it. That would be my bad. No, he hasn't actually sent out a scout yet. So he doesn't know what the Protoss is doing, although so far the Protoss is doing everything by the book. We do see that expansion command center going down by Ruff. This appears to be a one racks fast expand. Like to see a bunker dropped on the low ground so we could defend that very easily. Although I'm sure I don't have to tell him what to do. He's probably fully more aware than I am. Or something like that. We just see this one Marine standing guard over this SCV constructing this huge facility all by himself. Quite an impressive feat if you do ask me. See a Stalker being chrono boosted out, and Warp Gate has been started by the Protoss. We don't see any additional gateways being dropped as of yet, so we're not entirely sure what the build order choice of the Protoss is yet. We do see some gas now being taken by the Terran player, double gas going down. Still just the one racks though to pump out units, and I do believe that is a bunker being dropped on the low ground. I called it. Just saying. Just see that expansion nexus going down, so it looks like a one racks fast expand versus a one gate fast expand. Both are taking advantage of the fact that a natural is fairly easy to secure in this map, and that the rush distances between the two players is fairly big. Not incredibly big, but it's decent. Stalker standing guard over here, trying to make sure that nothing tricky goes on to hamper that nexus. Bunker completes, and I'm sure we'll see Marines traveling into there as the SCV that was building this decides he's going to run away and do some mining. You see Warp Gate is about half done for the Protoss player, as that nexus is still being built. No additional gateways have been dropped yet. Obviously he's still sunk a lot of minerals into that nexus, so he's waiting to secure those additional gateways for a later time. Another bunker being dropped here. Obviously he's maybe a little bit scared. I don't know if he's aware of the Protoss expansion yet. Actually, he still hasn't scouted the Protoss at all. He's completely unaware of the main base or the natural, so he's preparing for any sort of early aggression. 4-gate would hit fairly close to now if it was optimally timed. Though I don't see him doing any scouting for proxy pylon either, so maybe he's not liking the lack of scouting by the Terran. Actually, that seems like a dangerous move to me. He's completely in the dark as to what his opponent's doing. We do see double factories being dropped here, taking advantage of the fact that he got those double gas late. He's been stockpiling it for a little while, so he's able to drop double factories and be able to probably start pumping out siege tanks fairly quickly. As you see, Marine seems to be the tech choice from the barracks, and no additional barracks are being dropped. Third factory started now. We do see tri-factories going down, and tech lab going down on the completed one so far. As we do see basically just 3 gateways out of the Protoss, nothing too spectacular there. No tech tree has been chosen yet. Looks to be going just mass gateway off this 2 base. I'm sure we'll see some additional gateways added to that once the resources become available. Both players are sitting back just trying to enjoy their incredibly efficient economy. see what we see pumped out here. Does appear to be siege tanks that are going to be made. I'm sure we'll see siege mode started up fairly soon. Double forges going down for the Protoss player. According to the production tab, we'll find those. There they are, hidden around the back. Obviously for double upgrades to those gateway units. You see double gas now being taken by the Terran player at his expansion. No gas yet taken by the Protoss player's expansion. As I say that, he drops the assimilator on the one. Just trying to make a liar out of me. So SCV's finally going to poke out and see what he can see. He will probably be able to scout that there's a nexus here before he gets taken out. A lot of sentries here, but they don't kill anything very fast at all. I'm sure we're aware. And the SCV just got tickled to death. Nothing too special there. I'm sure we've heard that expression before. Triple factories are now completed. Tech lab just finishing up on the last one. If he's going to use these, looks like he's using these to build Thors actually. He built an armory on the back that I missed. And we're going to see some Thors siege tanks out of these factories. Mass Thor play is something I actually haven't seen before against Protoss. I've seen it be fairly effective against a Roach heavy Zerg, or a Terran who decides he's going to bunker up and turtle. But I haven't seen this against a Protoss before, so we'll see exactly how effective this turns out to be. Terran vehicle plating level 1 is coming down to give those give them a little bit of extra armor. You see the barracks has stopped producing basically essentially anything, and it's only Thors all the time. You see basically only sentries and zealots over here to try and defend against any sort of a Thor push that's coming out. We just see a hidden expansion taken down here by the Terran at the gold. This is only, I do believe, a 5 mineral patch gold, what with the rich Vespian guys over here, so that basically makes it the equivalent of 1 normal base, give or take. So that will allow the Terran, if he can keep that from being scouted, to definitely gain an economic advantage as we move into the mid-game stages. These 2 Thors are standing guard here. Don't believe he'll research strike cannons. I don't believe I've actually seen that researched in a game ever. Maybe I'm wrong. I probably did it when I was in bronze, but it's not the most useful upgrade, let's put it that way. Do you see now Hellions are being produced out of these factories. He's going Thor Hellion, Marine, SCV, push. By the looks of it, I'm sure we're gearing up for some sort of mid-game timing that I'm not aware of. So you see Blue Flame now is about half done, and that appears to be some sort of a timing he's going to hit, as the Protoss might be completely unaware of that this is coming. He's putting up a Dark Shrine, which is about half completed, but right now he's only got sentries and zealots. Terran player is not pushing out yet. Let's change that back to everyone view. But he is actually acquiring a fairly decent mech army. Mech is not something you see very often against Protoss, as I'm sure I've said. But I guess we learn something new every day, don't we? These Hellions are moving around the side of the map, maybe trying to secure... Oh, sees this probe over here. I didn't even see this probe hiding over here. And apparently neither did the Hellions. Oh, there we go. Just before the probe gets a chance to drop a pile on, the Hellions basically flame it to death, which is unfortunate, and I'm sure flaming is means different things to different people, but we're going to leave it at that. The command center is now finished at the gold for the Terran. I don't believe it's been scouted by the Protoss yet. No, he has no idea that that's there. Meaning that can actually bring in a sniff and run income. There comes the Hellions. They're going to try and run past this big force, but I don't know if they'll be able to do it. They're doing actually no damage. There's the force fields going down. Very nice force fields, trapping the Hellions in there and allowing the Zealots to rip them apart. SCV is now being transferred down to the gold base. I'm sure Ruff didn't want to lose all those Hellions, but it turns out that he actually had no choice in the matter, as those force fields were placed quite well. Supply now favors Soloturtle, but it appears suffering from a bit of a supply block. No pylon on the way yet. Zealot charge is almost completed. Charge obviously makes the Zealots a lot more effective. Good force field placement along with charge can basically allow Zealots to tear through most ground units that any race can make. 4th factory going up now with the reactors. We're going to see some more Hellions produced. Another refinery being taken here. I'm sure it's the rich Vespian guys are down at the gold. Look at that, I'm basically psychic. There's a 3rd base going down for the Protoss, but it is just a normal expansion, and it is scanned by the Terran, so he knows that 3rd base is up, but it's not quite up yet. Actually, he's still in the process of building it. Planetary Fortress goes down at the gold to try and defend that, and a missile turret there, obviously, just in case some Protoss air decides to sneak by. Not that Protoss air is very common at all. Robotics bay going down for the Protoss. Trying to see some Colossi action here. Command center appears it's going to be built here right beside this probe, so the probe's going to be fully aware that this space is being taken, although I'm sure he'll still think it's a 3rd base because he isn't aware of this hidden 3rd base by the Terran. We do see still continuous Thor production, as well as SCVs are being pulled off the main mineral line. Dark Templar is going to come in here and maybe try and do a bit of cute harass, but that was quickly shut down by the missile turret's detection. You see this Thor army is pushing out with a lot of SCVs trying to repair this. Command center is still being built at the natural 3rd. And it looks like it's going to meet a crouching Zealot, Stalker, Sentry army. This push could go actually either way. I'm not really sure where this Protoss army is going, but they might accidentally run into the gold base that the Terran has set up. And it looks like, oh, this Observer actually spotted it, so he's completely aware of this gold base. As the Planetary Fortress starts to take pot shots at the Zealots, this force is going to be forced to run away. They're actually going to run right into the main Terran army. These force fields go down trying to trap all the SCVs from the pairing. Zealots are able to rip through those SCVs, but these Thors are doing huge amounts of damage against the Stalkers and Sentries. And this supply is actually favoring the Terran immensely now, as this army is doing huge amounts of damage. Protoss is forced to try and back up and recuperate after suffering huge losses to that Thor SCV army. He was unable to do anything to this gold base, so it's still up and running, as well as the Terran player, who is now aware of this third base, so they did see the scan go down, and now probes are transferring over. He might be just gearing up to go and take out that third base, or maybe just take this Zelnaga tower, which is in the form of a warp gate. How cute. Always like blue warp gates, actually. They're much more visually appealing. Hellions are going to come in here, and with their blue flame, they're going to roast probes incredibly quickly. Huge drone or probe transfers coming down here, but they got pulled back before any serious damage is done. Thors are going to go to town on this Nexus as the main Protoss army moves in. Stalkers are going to try and take out these Thors, but it's not going to work. Zealots are going to charge up, but they're going to get pretty much instantly fried. Colossi is going to come out here and do absolutely nothing against this huge Thor army, and there's the GG by Soloturtle. You recognize that Colossi obviously was an inappropriate tech choice against mass Thor SCV Hellion play. Another great game by these two players. This is the end of the series, as Ruff does now take it 2-0. We'll be uploading many more casts of the round of 32 for you guys of this LPS StarCraft 2 Open number 2. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and we will see you guys later.